Timeless reading for Scorpio, starting with the card Stagnation, followed by Future, Fire, Earth, Better, and Adulthood. It feels as if you have been stuck in a situation for quite a while and you feel like you're still stuck and you may not see any way out of this situation, while the spider is coming closer and closer. Just fantasizing, longing for your future, from getting out of the cold into the warm sunlight. It might feel like an eternity, but maybe just right in the moment when you lose hope and you stop fantasizing about the future, suddenly something will move forwards. As I was talking about using the metaphor here in the picture, being in the cold, fantasizing about being in the warm sunlight, we have a fire card here as well. So maybe for some of you there is something about warmth or heat. Also the fire, I feel, represents some kind of speed. Something will burn its way through very quickly, like using fire and gas at the same time. It's not something that's burning slowly, it is something that is moving fast here. We have a second element here, it's the earth. Better and adulthood. There is something about finding out that someone or several people, they have prepared some kind of surprise for you in the background, which will then further the fast change. While you thought you were still stuck in a terrible situation or just in an uncomfortable situation, this is like a surprise. Someone or several people have prepared some kind of surprise in the background, and there's something about networking here. I want to use another metaphor here, like the cobweb that you felt like you were trapped in for quite a while will then suddenly change its meaning, and from being a trap, it goes into, or it becomes like a safety network. It's still the same web, but you're not caught in it anymore. Now it's something like a bridge. You can just walk over it and not fall down. Something is shifting. Something that used to be a burden is then becoming very useful, a very useful tool. Maybe by a network that's surrounding you, and they have prepared something. While you thought, oh my God, I'm slowly becoming very desperate, it might be that I'm never getting out of here. The fire also is a metaphor for burning all hindrances away between the present and the future. And the earth card just tells me that something is very stable and something is very, something has a proper foundation and is very rooted. It's not like a building castles in your fantasies out of thin air that can quickly fall apart. Not establishing something in a rush, overlooking things and then making mistakes. No, something is very stable and grounded. And it has always been, even when you thought you were trapped in this web and had no proper foundation and you were worried, maybe even having some deep existential fears, that actually you will later realize that everything, all the time while you were worried, you were still standing on solid ground. It was just that your head forgot about your feet. Like your head was so focused on itself and all the mental traps and all the mental chaos that you forgot, this is a metaphor again, that you forgot that your feet and your legs are still strong and standing on the ground in a very healthy way, and you are still a very capable person, even though you thought that maybe you are very helpless in a situation. The better card speaks for itself. Something is getting better. You are becoming better. You are in better spirits. You're just feeling better. It also speaks of a very profound and nurturing, satisfying joy, happiness. It's not a superficial thing. It is something that you have earned, something that you have learned as well, something that comes from wisdom, not some kind of fancy, quickly fading, superficial happiness. This is happiness that comes due to a life lesson. Speaking of life lesson, we have the adulthood card here as well. So it has something to do with growing up. Even if we are already grown, I think we still can evolve always. And more than that, this card actually speaks to me about paperwork, bureaucratical things. Maybe there are some things that you will soon have to deal with, but I feel like you will be glad about that. Like, it's not necessarily some negative paperwork. It could just be something that is just required, because maybe if you get out of this stuck situation, you will change something in your environment, in your working place, I don't know, and then automatically you have to do some paperwork because you are relocating or changing a job or whatever the situation was that you were stuck in and now getting out of. It requires some paperwork, but you will be glad to do this paperwork so that finally you can get out of this situation. At the bottom of the deck we have disillusionment. I feel in this case we can take it as a positive word or card, because it's like, you know, fantasizing about the future, constantly worrying that it will not come true what you're fantasizing about, feeling horribly stuck, feeling afraid you will never get out of a situation, feeling that you have to worry about your existence, about your safety, and not only financial safety. Maybe you had fears about your physical safety. Maybe you were afraid of some kind of physical attacks, or about your health, also about your finances, maybe about your living situation, like all kinds of existential fears that were really tormenting you in your head. And this disillusionment card might then just represent this epiphany, this realization, like, oh my God, all this time while I was so afraid and worried, there was a safety net or network in the background that I didn't even see. Okay, I'm gonna pull some health and lifestyle cards for you as well. These ones jumped out. It's poop, could be related to digestion, fracture. Baby, cold, letter, veggies, nose, gift, and the last one, protein. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.